Folks, this is it. This is it. We are going to go. It's just right around the corner here, and we are going to go talk to Amir Rubin, who is the CEO of Sixense, and we are going to ask him about this update, and we are going to ask the hard questions, and we're going to find out what is going on. Now, I'm going to give a little preface here. There's a possibility that what he's going to show us might be compelling. It might be compelling. I don't know, but we'll find out. It might be worth the wait, or this whole dev kit nomenclature that's being used might be something else. But we're about to go find out. We're going to do this. We're going to do this firsthand and give him an opportunity, and we are going to ask the R question: refund. We want to know, people who are not satisfied with this, can they have a refund? So we want to see it. We're going over there right now. Let's do it. All right, we're heading our way over to, here we go. We're going over to Sixense right now. Here we go. See everybody. All right, there's Amir. Here's the whole booth. We're going to do this. We're doing this for the community. The community has a right to know.
Give us the bed.
Hello.
We've been waiting.
Good. All right, so there are some interesting components over here on the table. I'm not really sure what this is.
I put up one of my colleagues already. All right.
Okay, have a good talk. And I'll be around.
Yeah. Coco's coming.
All right.
I saw earlier.
Thank you so much.
Go. Let me finish.
Scott.
See you again.
What's up, buddy?
So, would it help if I lower the volume of the siege?
No, you're
You don't
good.
mind?
You're good. Trust me, they can hear you. Oh, wow. No, that was a little loud, maybe.
So this is the first time, other than the Kickstarter that we just released, this is the first time that we show. Scott, help me, please. This is what we call the stem stick. The stem stick is designed, and we'll show it to you right now on the PC, and I'll explain what it's going to do on the PC. Show it moving around a little bit. And again, here, you can go all the way. Again, it's a wired tracker.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah, it was good seeing you again.
it's an absolute position orientation wire tracker that is designed to be very light, very small, very fast, and work on both Windows, Linux, Mac OS, many different flavors. I'm not going to go into details, and Android, and soon enough iOS, but for now Android, and many different flavors. It's already working with multiple phones. So again, this is the one of the trackers. Again, these controllers of the stem that we're releasing are going to be designed to support both communication of our proprietary protocol at 240 hertz directly to a PC, or with mobile, so you don't need any fancy dongles as an addition. It works directly to the phone, like it does with SVVR, like you tried at GDC.
Right.
It works directly to the phone, communicating BLE, but with the great support we got from the companies that are behind the Gear VR and the Galaxy phone. They helped us to get. Also, I can give credit to somewhat to Android to guarantee 133 hertz communication from two controllers to the phone. As we know, latency is critical.
Right.
So with some proprietary technology that we developed, that can enable you guarantee of the latency that you didn't. Hopefully, you felt that there's very little latency.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I have to admit, the mobile
no
was
one
pretty
is
good.
yet able to have this low latency on a control system. So this is here. Now, this is the new design for the base. It's got about 7 feet in range.
Yeah. So go ahead and pull the trigger.
7 feet in range, which is slightly less than the stem. The stem is at 8. But obviously, it's much smaller if you compare them. You can see how much smaller it is.
Oh yeah.
This one is 3 years of R&D, taking it from this giant. Here there's a 90mm coil that is heavy and big. This is a 28mm coil that is designed for mass production. This one requires cables and special connectors, very expensive and very, very it requires handwork. Sure. This one, it's very, very simple, just like this one that we designed. Mass production, coil design. No one needed it until us, until we needed it for mass production in the electromagnetic space. And we had to go about designing it. But the problem is that the coil had to be very consistent in the output of the electromagnetic space.
Sure.
Between one system to another, so developers develop to the same system, doesn't matter how many millions hopefully they're going to be out there. So, and this board is going to be obviously, it's much smaller than this. Right now the board is basically the whole system here.
Sure.
This is much smaller and optimized, but it's going to be even smaller than this. But we hope it's going to be about this big. It's fully battery operated. As you can tell, there's no power. If you hold it, if you don't mind holding it,
a problem with distance, if
you can see.
back a little bit further, you'll get a little more distance.
Just hold it straight.
Okay.
If you don't mind, I'll move the base. You see? I'm moving the base, which is a reference, right? But the point is, you see, there's no power to it. It's not connected to anything.
Right.
It's all running on battery, which is allowing you put it on the ceiling, putting anywhere you want, and that's 10 hours of battery.
So,
And it's an off-the-shelf battery.
I can anticipate then that I could maybe even wear it.
100%.
I get it.
So, but wait, let's talk about quickly what is this going to be able to do. So right now it's connected to the PC.
Right.
And many people are saying, and I don't blame them, you know, what I needed for the PC, I got the Vive, and you see here our SDK supports the Vive. You know,
Yep.
we have a multiplayer here of the Siege, having the Vive here, 100% Vive. We love the Vive. The Vive is saving the VR world right now. That's the way we look at it.
Okay.
VR is the savior of the industry as it goes, because this is the experience that I've been developing in Sixense for the past 8 years. They were able to release it, and we are 100% supporting it. So our SDK enable you in a multiplayer to work with a Vive, and right here you have CV1 fully integrated with the stem because they don't have touch.
Right.
The moment they'll have touch, we'll support touch completely. But what's the problem? When you have cameras, and again, we still work with the camera, but every time the camera loses line of sight, our tracking for head tracking immediately takes over, so you don't stop the experience.
Right.
So we have full support for the head tracking, but then we come in and take over when they lose their tracking.
Right.
But we would like to believe that VR, especially in markets that are not just gaming, especially when you're talking about markets like healthcare, like sports simulation, like actually teaching you different applications from baseball to golf, when the legs are very important. Everything we've done is 5 trackers.
Right.
Or even 10 trackers, because you can 2 people, but in our technology there's no line of sight. So what we are doing is we're giving you this USB piece, and I'll take it out now, because right now, here's Scott. Scott runs our developer support.
Okay.
Yeah. Scott is going to connect it to a Galaxy S6 now.
Okay.
But overall, when you're talking about what is the STEM system designed for? Gaming is very important, but if you look at our developers, we have over 3,000 active developers developing with the SDK that we released. And our SDK that supports multiplayer or both Unreal and Unity, give you a full IK system, and is used 40% in medical applications, from rehabilitation to training, to training for welding, to training for surgery, to robotics, many different applications that the requirement is higher than what you'll expect from the gaming industry. And the consistency, so we have to make sure that it works, and we have to make sure that it works like the internet does, connecting all platforms, mobile and desktop, and all flavors of operating systems across the board. And that is a much more an undertaking than we originally anticipated to take on as part of the Kickstarter. But we are, again, to show, here you have the same SDK, the same developer platform here.
Let's take a small step back.
You see, as I go, the same exact application that you saw earlier that comes with our SDK, right? Available here.
Now, down to your right, you're going to see those red.
Now this, you just need to put on your head, connect to the bottom of the Gear VR, and you have full position tracking.
Right.
But at the same time, you can connect it to Vive or CV1 USB, and then you have this running very light, minimal power. It doesn't take any power, even though those guys are connected.
Right.
And what you get out of that is the ability, number one, to have legs.
Right.
And all-out tracker, because then this, you don't need the base anymore. If they have head tracking, then their head tracking is your reference to your hands in our application.
Gotcha.
So then you just have controllers. The controllers would communicate directly to the PC. The controllers don't talk to, the base doesn't talk to anything.
Right.
And now I can give you legs tracking, because they have head tracking. You can connect now your waist.
Yeah.
So now you do baseball, you do golf, you do any kind of physiotherapy, anything you want to do at our level of precision is available for you. And on top of it, you can have multiplayer inside the VAR without worrying about interference, but line of sight interference of multiple players. Especially, meaning Vive is doing a great job. Their tracking is amazing. For line of sight, unbelievable tracking. I've never seen anything as beautiful as that. But if you talk about Oculus, we've tried the touch. The touch is going to take time before you're going to be able to have more than 2 controllers.
Right.
In the same area. And I don't know how many cameras you're going to need, but we intend to make sure that if you put this on your CV1, you'll be able to put as many trackers as you want on your body, and to have as many people as you want, especially if it's wired. You can have endless amount of people. There's the only limitation of the stem is Bluetooth. Here's the number of RF dongles that we can support because of the RF spec, the Bluetooth spec.
Sure.
Okay, so first, if I can speak directly to
Go ahead.
your people, anyone in the community that is part of our Kickstarter supporters, we apologize again for the delay. We basically would like to say that as a whole, VR has so many opportunities for so many different industries that we believe that now that Vive has got controllers and touch is coming out, we believe that it's not only about making the Vive and the Oculus CV1 and the Oculus Rift better overall, and a deeper experience. That is the target. It's bringing it to mobile, bringing it to multiplayer and cross-platform. That's why we invested so much in our software development tools, and basically able to branch outside of gaming. Although we appreciate and respect the fact that most of the Kickstarter community are gamers and invested because they wanted a better Hydra. They wanted a wireless Hydra. We 100% respect that need, and for that purpose only, we went into developing what we refer to as the, I'm not going to call it Hydra on steroid, but I call it's a wireless,
Sure.
more powerful. But this one, by the way, if you want to talk about the consumer product, I'm sorry I'm jumping around.
Okay.
But if you want to talk about the consumer product, here, we are really going to limit it. You will not be able to have more than 3 trackers on this system.
On the wired system here.
You know, the wired you can have as many as you want.
Oh, okay.
But when you talk about wireless, this system, meaning you will be able to have 5, 10, 20 wired.
Okay.
But wireless, this system will support only 3 trackers.
Now, when you
Wireless.
talk about wireless, you're referring to the base station, right?
So I'm talking about how many, the overall protocol to make the components cheap enough. So let's explain the problem. The problem is that when you're trying to do 5 trackers, or even worse, 10 trackers, which we expanded it up to 10 trackers, talking at 240 hertz, simultaneously to the same PC, we spent over, I even give you numbers, over $3 million just on the protocol and the components that needed to be optimized, working with Nordic Semiconductor, which is one of the biggest BLE and RF chipset solution. For the last 5 years, we've been working on it to get it to work. And I don't want to bore anybody, but losing packets.
Right.
Our loss of packets is less than 1%.
Wow.
It's unheard of,
Wow.
but it's required for VR because when you start seeing choppiness,
Yeah, that's a problem.
you don't believe the experience. You don't believe the experience, whatever it is. If it's a game or is it physiotherapy, it's not going to be efficient. It's not going to work for you.
Right, right.
So that part, to reduce the cost, especially of the components, for the consumer unit, we are making it so you need 3 trackers. If you ever had tracking, then you'll have a waist
And 1 leg each.
and either legs, and you can use the controllers of the Vive, or
Right.
you can use the controller of the touch,
Right.
or anybody else that's going to come with decent controllers for position tracking.
Sure.
But if you're going mobile, for now, mobile barely here,
Yeah.
unless something new happens by Samsung or by Android being Google. Right now, we cannot support or get within our spec of 133, which means the minimum we must guarantee under 10 milliseconds on mobile, because otherwise you're going to start seeing latency.
Sure. Right.
So right now we cannot do more than 2 wireless controllers and 1 track controller on mobile.
Okay.
And that's going to be, right now, we lack the spec so we can go into production. But that has to be for now. So the consumer product for mobile will only support 2 wireless controllers talking BLE straight to the phone, with this tracker providing you a reference to the head for the controller. And that's it. So right now we moved all our production to the US so we can control quality.
Yeah.
And we are in right here in the Bay Area in Fremont. Soon enough, we intend to show you, and make sure first come to you and Ben Lang. But we will come in and show you a video straight from the factory, showing the production line. We are starting sooner than October, but there will be smaller quantities. It goes like 100, 500, and then it's going to start into thousands.
Sure.
Slowly, it's critical for us. And again, we're not Facebook, we're not Oculus that can bury mistakes of millions of dollars. We need to be very careful. We went to China, we could not guarantee. We had a person living in China, in Shenzhen, for the last year. We could not guarantee the results of the product.
Wow.
There was not only that, not to say anything about Chinese manufacturing,
Sure.
but because we are not Facebook, we cannot get Foxconn or we cannot get one of the giant manufacturers to give us the A-team. So we realized that we will take a huge loss on each unit that's going to go to the Kickstarter. To bring it to the US, the cost is more than double. Just to be clear, we will take the loss on the product. And anybody that bought a 500 or that ordered the 500, a 5-track system was $299. I think at the early bird.
Yeah, it was
Early bird was $299, the 5-track system.
$399 was the other one. Yeah, yeah.
But early bird, most of them are early bird because later we lowered it for everybody.
Sure, right.
We are going to take a major. We'll have to subsidize it. But just to be clear, they will also have access to all the content that we're making available for free. Siege that is going to sell, we believe, for full price on Steam and sell for full price even on mobile at some reduced features.
Right.
But obviously, available for free. And we'll have more of an update on specifically Siege. We have all our demos finished into a kind of a, we don't want to call it Wii Sport, obviously, but it's kind of a bundle of demos that's going to come together.
Sure.
That's going to basically enable you to have experiences from golf to baseball. All is going to come bundled with it. And again, we are going to sell it in all other platforms. But for anybody that ordered and continuously will use it, will get it as part of a Kickstarter and others for free.
All right.
So, if anybody in the community has any questions, I'll give you real, straight-out answers.
We do have some questions.
I'm sure. Let's go.
Let's talk about, so, according to the update this morning, if Kickstarter backers still want this,
Yes,
they can get that stuff.
100%.
Okay. Are you going to produce them in small quantities, or would they get a 3D printed?
No.
Okay.
3D printing, just to be clear,
Yeah.
this system that you see being used, and you've tried it many times.
Oh yeah.
Those systems that 3D printed, we print it all. We have a special agreement with Shapeways. Shapeways is the largest online house for 3D printing.
Sure.
Shapeways, which gave us a great price. We still way over $1,000 a unit.
Whoa. Okay.
Way.
All right.
So let's not even talk about that.
Okay.
No, our molds are being produced by tools, the tooling for the plastics.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna get a finished product with the tooling, with the SDK that we never intended really to give the full SDK with the multiplayer and everything else, the whole IK. They will get all the SDK. Again, I don't want to get into the SDK. We'll have a very specific update.
Yeah.
But overall, they'll get everything with it, including the games, and hopefully they'll get it. Hopefully, some of them will get it before October.
Okay. So, how many Kickstarters are there? How many Kickstarter backers are there?
Backers overall, we have about 2,300.
2,300.
But
Okay.
out of the 2,300, how many ordered systems? Plus minus 2,000.
Okay. So, are you anticipating having 2,000 of these produced?
Oh, wait.
You see the dog? Go ahead and walk.
So when we went to China,
Yeah.
the minimal order to get any Chinese manufacturer to start a production line
Yeah.
was 50,000 units. That was the minimum. We could not get less. So we were getting ready to give them, and you have to give them, to be simple.
Yeah.
You have to give a letter of credit. You have to basically have all the money set aside for 50,000 units, and then you tell them this is how many, you ship the 100 first, then 500, then 1,000, then 5,000, and you go step by step. It's a whole different story when you come here. The same manufacturer that developed all the electronics that goes into this 3D plastic is a very good manufacturer that works here in Fremont. We've been working with them for 2 years. He's been producing everything that we have. We know exactly what to expect. They care about what we do, and we will produce with him our starting order, and depends how we go between now and October, but the starting order will be at least 5,000.
Okay. So,
Because we have many more orders behind.
so if everybody wanted the Kickstarter backers specifically, because I understand you've got pre-order people too.
100%.
I
Kickstarter will get it first.
Yeah.
And they have the choice.
Okay, so they could get this, and they'll have it around October. Or you're giving them the option of waiting until March and get this.
So now if you reach
Which
over your
will help
shoulder,
us a lot because this is going to be much cheaper, and this will have to subsidize.
Right, but you're going to take a loss on both of them.
No, this one.
This one you won't take a loss.
Don't talk to me. If I take the loss on this one, there's no way. I can do it.
Okay. No, I mean just specifically for the Kickstarter.
This one,
And our bows are
for the Kickstarter,
Yeah.
whatever you want to hit.
this we're gonna produce in China
So now,
Okay.
in very large quantities.
Okay.
This is designed for every Gear VR that's out there. It's designed for every Google Cardboard that's out there. It's designed, we already have it working with Google Cardboard, we have it working with Gear VR. We can actually show you a demo of all our demos that you tried at GDC working with this.
Yep.
We didn't do it then, but we can do it now.
there you go.
And it will work with many headsets
What this does is these
that are for PC that don't have tracking.
Right.
There's huge, meaning
Yeah.
the amount of headsets that are being right now from Europe to China to the US that we have seen coming to us for the past, just for the past, since CES.
right there. Shoot right there.
Everybody else will be able to use this with controllers and with legs if they take the stand for every single one. We are working now on integrating our SDK with at least 3 headsets that we believe are better than DK2. Okay? They are not CV1.
Sure.
They are not Vive.
We'll talk about that offline because I'm curious, but they don't care.
100%.
But I have to ask the hard question
100%.
because,
Go. Any questions?
we've got this relationship, and I've got the same relationship with the community. The community wants me to ask, can they get a refund?
The quick answer,
Yes.
I would say even the official answer is no.
Okay.
Because the moment we offer a Kickstarter refund,
Yes.
immediately, whether or not only one person asks for a refund, immediately we have to go out and announce to our investors and our financials that we're taking every single dollar we ever got from the Kickstarter
Yeah.
as an immediate liability. Because the moment we make that announcement,
Sure.
then whether or not you might not, I'm a Kickstarter, you're a Kickstarter backer.
Absolutely.
And you might say, look, Amir, I want to stick with you. It doesn't matter, I'm going to have to take the loss immediately. But we are working with our investment, with our board members, to, again, our intention is those that really feel they want the money back, we will try to see if we can help on that.
Looking at it
I cannot promise it, and I cannot guarantee anything.
Looking at it from the perspective of you having to take a loss, if you've got 2,000 people that want that and it costs twice as much as they paid you, wouldn't it be logical to give them their money back instead if they
100%.
wanted it? Okay.
And that's my point.
Yeah.
And that is still my point with my investor. When I will ship it,
Yeah.
99.9%, right before we ship it, we will offer a refund to everyone. It's not a promise, it's just common sense. I can guarantee you that at that point, you ask for the stamp system in October and you tell me, this is my address. Forget about it. I have so much more to add. Meaning, think about, you have, and I hate to bring it up, but talk about the silver and gold backers.
Right.
Silver and gold backers have multiple systems at $1,000.
And
I will lose thousands of dollars on them.
right.
And so common sense is we come in, when we start shipping, we will most likely, again, I'm speaking for my opinion right now. Even though I'm the CEO, I'm the co-founder of the company, but we have investors. Just to be clear, the $600,000 that were brought into us by the Kickstarter community and helped proving that there's a market out there and persuade my investors allowed me to bring in another $6.7 million into this development.
Right.
So, not to say without the 600,000, I would never, without the Kickstarter community telling us we want it,
Right.
we will not be able to raise the rest of the money.
Exactly.
So because of that, we are very, very, very clear that the Kickstarter community and the ones that supported us deserve full credit for us being in this ability, in this position of having the ability. But again, to be clear, there's every year, every month, we are spending over $350,000 every month between hardware and software development.
Oh yeah,
And just because of we have a large team now.
sure.
And don't take it the wrong way. It's worth losing money on that initial team that supported us, the initial community that supported us. But, as you say, definitely makes sense at the moment when somebody doesn't want it and says, I just have a Vive, I'm happy, I don't need it. Most likely, I will definitely fight 100%
Oh, you see that?
of
Go ahead
each
and
case
talk
to
those.
provide
You'll see a little
them refund.
cracking up. Yeah.
That's
There you
all we
go.
want to hear. That's what we want to hear. And, you know, I feel like personally, this is pretty cool. All right?
appreciate it.
My opinion is, I have always said that the value of STEM, and I'm saying this publicly as I always have, the value of STEM isn't on the PC, it's on mobile. To me, that's always been, when people say, well, we don't need STEM anymore. Yeah, you do, because you need it for mobile. People don't get that. That's me talking. But in terms of all of this, I will gladly, officially, right here on live on the stream, I'll wait for that. That's what I'm going to do. But I leave it up to the community to decide what they're going to do personally themselves.
And I promise you, and then again, let's make this promise. And you know, again, we waited for this. You're the first person ever that's seen this because you represent the community for us. But I do promise you that in the next few weeks, we will consistently give you updates live, or if you can do live, we can do, you know, any kind of video, whatever you want. Or, you know, I would love to take a camera with you next time you're here, take you to the factory, you do your own reporting. Because as we are going out, this is what now, as we're going into the next process. That's where communication will become critical.
So, guys, those of you who are talking about October, so October, if those of you who are not patient enough to wait until March, you're going to get this in October, not 3D printed. You're going to get this mass produced in a quantity somewhere here in the US. Or you can talk to Amir personally about whatever other arrangement needs to be made. Or you can do what I'm doing, and you can wait for this to come out, and you can have a mobile solution. So those are the options in a nutshell.
100%.
100%.
When do we, as Kickstarter backers, when do we have to make the decision to pick one or the other?
Right before you need to make a decision if you want that.
Okay.
The one we ship you that, you don't have
You have
this.
3 kinds of arrows.
Or at least, look, most likely,
You can grab that
I can even
one.
take
Light that one on
you know,
fire.
again, it's most likely because I just think I'm the CEO, I still have the ability to make most of the decisions.
Perfect. Now go ahead and pull it back.
Most
and
likely.
Shoot it. These are your explosive arrows. So
Even if you take the stem,
big groups of enemies with it, it'll
you
kill
will
all of
most
them,
likely
okay?
get
Now,
a much
down
better
to your
price
left, you'll see
on
another
the
arrow.
consumer product
Grab one of those.
than the consumers that are not
Put it
Kickstarters.
on the bow.
That's the question. I almost forgot. What do you think the retail price will be on that?
So the retail
Ballpark.
Okay,
So
now
the
watch,
ballpark
and you'll
for
see a big
this,
one come
we
from the
would
sky.
like to see
There you
this
go.
in the
You
market
want to use that for siege
at,
weapons, like your catapults and
again
your
with
batteries.
2 controllers
So now your
and a
last
stick
arrow, if you reach over
and
your
a base
shoulder, right
and this
hand,
base. We would like to see it
and hold
at
it. So these are your single
under
shot arrows.
$299, and we
you
hope
go.
it's going to be
And shoot.
we
And those
hope
are just
it's going to be
regular
under
arrows.
$249.
Okay.
Now, you're not using Palmer's ballpark numbers, are you?
No, that's exactly right.
Somebody said it on that.
No, we are talking about
Okay. Yeah, of course.
we are talking about based on the kind of quantity quotes
Yeah.
we have from one of the largest what they call ODMs, largest contract manufacturers.
Sure.
It's our contract manufacturer. What they
Yeah.
this product is designed to be part of a mobile experience.
Sure.
And therefore, not only it needs to be mobile, it needs to be light, it also needs to be cheaper.
Sure.
It's
I
not,
agree.
it's not, with all due respect to the gaming community,
Yeah.
the mobile gamers and the mobile users are much
Yeah,
much
well,
cheaper, let's
to
say.
be able to take $299 and slap it down and turn a 3 degrees of freedom into 6 degrees of freedom on a mobile headset. Yeah, that's valuable.
Especially turning a Gear VR that you bought maybe for $100 or you got it to a full-blown presence experience. I think is the ultimate solution.
Now, I'm going to make a personal request. This right here needs to have replaceable, purchasable batteries.
100%.
Awesome. I don't want to have to plug this in to charge it. I want to have a battery I can yank out.
Oh, I don't know.
No?
That's beyond me.
Okay. Well, I said it.
You'll bring
It's
it
out
up.
there.
You'll bring it up. I don't.
Yep.
I know. This is basically inside here are 4 cells. I think this is off the shelf.
Right, it is. It's a phone battery. Yeah.
No, it's not a phone battery. I think it's some type of battery you buy in a hobby store or something.
Sure. Right. So like maybe a remote car or something. But
yeah.
Right. So
it will probably gonna have 4 AA's or something like that.
Okay, good. Because it's a challenge, these stupid devices where you have to bring a
But
charger
let me tell you
with
something.
you
Let me tell you another consideration we got, and you might find it strange, but if you ever use Gear VR,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
the number one problem Gear VR has, even with the new S7, is battery life.
Yeah.
You are in VR, it kills the battery in minutes. Not kill it completely. It takes S7 is much better than S6, and S6 is much better than S5 on battery and heat. But what are we being asked, talking in market research, is that when we design this, put a bigger battery than you need,
Yes.
and allow the battery to become a recharging for the phone.
Yes.
Because I do, and many others are carrying a rechargeable, one of those heavy-duty,
Yeah.
boxes.
I've got 3 in my bag.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's saying, anyway, people are going to carry, make this a VR charge station.
Absolutely.
We didn't decide to do it. It will raise the cost. This one is designed for charging.
Awesome.
You can charge your phone from this one. We might want to go cheaper and go to a 4 AA's.
Sure.
And allow you to buy an additional piece that's going to make it.
That's fine. There's all sorts of fun accessories you can do. You can have this be, you can have it wear it on a chest. Hell, you get one of those sub-pack boom woofer things and you put that on the back, you wear this on the front, all on mobile.
Exactly.
Holy crap. Lots of cool things. Okay. Amir, the community is happy. Okay.
Appreciate it. I appreciate the patience and I appreciate the.
I think a lot of them, they all watched your video from GDC and they're all looking around in April going, where is everything?
And I don't blame them.
I mean, did you know in April that this was going to happen? Or were you?
No, not even know in April. In March, when we talked,
Yeah.
we were introduced with a reality, a very simple difference.
Mm-hmm.
When we were ready, when you give to a manufacturer and you say, we will make 50,000 units, you don't have to commit to the 50,000 units. You have to commit, you have to say, okay, we'll make 50,000 units in 2016, but here it is, the first 5,000. Here's the money, go buy. Go get the line going. They came back to us less than a week, the second week of March, beginning of third week of March,
Right.
and said, we need right now a letter of credit to guarantee the whole 50,000 for the year.
And that was a deal breaker.
Because for us, and from that moment on, I have to make this, we need to take significant amount of money in. So with all the respect to my CEO position, I have investors and I have shareholders and I have board members, and there's no way I can take, if you imagine, even though the price would be half of the price that I'm paying now, I'm going to make 5,000 here. It's going to cost me 10,000 in China. It's equivalent to 10,000 in China.
Wow.
But it's not 50,000. And if I have to put out 50,000, it's over $15 million. And that is too risky.
It's very risky.
And too much to expect from my supporters.
Yes.
Meaning supporters being on the money side.
Absolutely. Well, I feel like we've gotten what we wanted. I appreciate the update. And a lot of people here are saying that's pretty damn compelling. I'm giving you the first feedback. from the community, they're saying,
very much.
holy crap, that actually looks pretty good. My prediction is that over 50% of your backers are going to see that and go, we've waited this long. Why not wait a little while longer to get something like this?